Dark hair as black as Zach's, and beady little eyes that stared unseeingly towards the porch where Chloe stood. Zach was jigging the baby gently and whispering to her as he paced slowly, patiently, across the room. With one big masculine hand he supported her bottom, and with the other he patted her back gently. He might even have been singing softly to Eve, and twice he pressed the gentlest of kisses to the side of her little head. Oh, the scene was so cute, so heartbreakingly poignant. Chloe's throat tightened painfully. There was no sign of Josie, and she imagined that her friend must have been resting in bed or taking a bath while her thoughtful partner cared for their baby. In that moment, it was all too easy for Chloe to see Jason in a similar role, to picture him being equally sweet with their own little one. So easy to imagine Jason fondly holding their tiny blanket-wrapped bundle, offering gentle pats and soothing whispers. Chloe was so touched by that thought she was blinded by tears. Horrified that she couldn't stop their flow and afraid she might break into noisy sobs, she had set her gift on the doorstep and turned and quietly scarpered. The very last thing she'd wanted was to cause an embarrassing scene. Josie had rung her the next day to thank her for the gift, and Chloe had made up an excuse about being in a dreadful hurry. But the beautiful possibilities inspired by the sight of Zach with tiny Eve had haunted her ever since. For the past 2 weeks, these possibilities had filled her head, kept her awake at night, and in a daze of fierce longing during the day. And now, as Jason rose from the table and took his replenished wineglass to the sofa, she knew the time had arrived. She had to speak before he switched on the TV and tuned into his latest Netflix obsession. Jason, with the remote in one hand, his glass in the other, he looked up at her with a somewhat distracted but good-natured frown. Chloe ran her tongue over suddenly dry lips. Before we start watching TV, there's something I need to tell you. Jason's frown deepened. What is it? Chloe swallowed. I thought you should know I've stopped taking the pill. You've what? The question exploded from his lips. Defensively, Chloe threw up her hands. Don't be angry, please. Don't be angry. Her boyfriend echoed sarcastically, and he was scowling at her now. You've made a drastic decision like that behind my back, and you expect me to stay calm. He made no attempt to hide his anger as he dropped the remote and thumped his wineglass on the coffee table so roughly it was a wonder the stem didn't snap. It's bloody Friday night, Chloe, and I'm trying to relax. You can't drop a bombshell like that on me. Well, Chloe swallowed, tried again. You know I've tried to talk about starting a family plenty of times in the past, but you've never been prepared to discuss it. Not seriously. Jason thrust his jaw stubbornly forward. That doesn't give you the right to make such a huge decision without telling me. She knew he had a point, but for once she wasn't prepared to back down or to start apologizing. Instead, she lifted her chin. Well, I'm telling you now. Jason shot her a narrow-eyed, piercing glance. When did you stop taking them? She swallowed. Not quite 2 weeks ago. Fuck. His attractive jaw dropped in appalled disbelief. You mean we've been screwing and you've known... It's okay, she jumped in quickly. I couldn't get pregnant straight away. Are you sure? Yes, she responded stoutly, even though in truth she wasn't absolutely sure, although most websites claimed that pregnancy was highly unlikely to happen so quickly. The thing is, Jason, I might not be safe for much longer. Tonight, for example, there could be a remote possibility. Jason swore again as he glared at her. That's why I wanted to tell you now. After priming me with food and wine first. Oh. It was true that Chloe didn't normally put in such a big effort on Friday nights. If Jason wasn't going to the footy, they often opted for pizza or some other takeaway. Perhaps she had been a tad unsubtle. Then again, desperate times required do-or-die measures. She spoke as steadily and carefully as she could. I really, really want to have a baby, Jason.